Well, this next Thursday, one of my electronic devices is having an anniversary, and that kind of got me thinking about all the different phones and organizers, PDAs as they were called, that I had and still have. And so I started looking through everything and started finding all of these boxes with stuff. I started out my cell phone life with a Motorola bag phone. I do not still have it. I have no idea what happened to it, but it is gone. But my second phone was this Nokia 252. Lightweight, small, portable, didn't require the bag or being plugged into the cigarette lighter. It was just awesome. And I carried this for several years. It used an analog radio. And right toward the end of the 90s, 2000, right in there, things started moving to the digital spectrum. And so I upgraded to the Nokia 6161. I love the little cover that kind of helped protect the keys so that you didn't accidentally do a lot of dialing. Still a small unit, as you can see. Worked very, very well. Neither of these will come on anymore. The batteries are just completely dead and won't even take a charge. But I do still have the boxes, the packaging. I've even still got the sales sheet and the contract for the 6161, interestingly enough. While carrying the 6161, in fact, is about 2 weeks after buying it, it was time to get a PDA. Now, I had used a borrowed PDA for about a year, one of the original Palm Pilots. Yes, when it was still called Palm Pilot, before that was sued off of the books. But I returned it, and in January the 26th of 2000, I bought this Palm 5X. Awesome device. It still works. It still does what it was supposed to do. My wife still uses this actually for some of the alarms in it, but everything still functions. The battery still lasts almost a month of usage. Just an incredible piece of device. I cannot find the box for it. It's still in use. I do have the handbook that came with the unit, which is kind of awesome when you stop and think about it. But I haven't been able to find the box, and I don't know where that went. Since it's still in use, it was not boxed up. So that was kind of cool. Now, while I still had this, it was time to upgrade phones because, phones are getting different. And to tell you the truth, there was a long period of time between the 6161 and the LG Chocolate because I went to work for a company that furnished my cell phones, and so I ended up with 3 in between while still carrying the 5X. But while I still had the 5X, I upgraded to the Chocolate, which was an okay phone. I got it because of the small size, but it was made primarily as a music player more than even a phone, and I got to say, it was not a very good phone. And at that time, I really wasn't much into listening to music on a phone either. So it was an interim. But then it was time to upgrade the 5X. So then my baby, this is my Tungsten T5. This was awesome. Huge screen. I don't remember if it was the first, but if not, it was one of the very first that had the ability to hide the graffiti area. If I can get my fingers to work, it takes a stylus normally, so that you would have the full screen. And when you were working in spreadsheets or Word documents or reading an ebook, that was just awesome. It had a great backlight. In fact, this one is actually turned way down. This one was the first one that really had a great backlight that had lots of power in order to run that, and still would last a week on a battery charge. So that was really cool. Well, then things went through what we term now convergence. And so the point was to have a phone and a PDA all in one. Well, so I ended up with a Palm Centro. I somehow ended up skipping a Centro, I guess would be more accurate if you look at the label. I missed the Trios and ended up with the Centro, which was much smaller. Now here was the problem. I was coming from this as my organizer and went to this as my organizer. Yes, it was also my phone, but it was horrible trying to get used to this little screen. I never did really care for it. It was just, I don't know, it just never quite did everything that I thought it should do. It was just so small. And the phone integration was not the best in the world, I thought. So at times I still carried and used my T5 for organizer things, finally working over to just the Centro, but it was tough. Then when the contract on the Centro went up, Palm was already starting to have some issues, and so I migrated to the Motorola Droid. Now, this particular Droid has some issues, as you'll notice. It had to be replaced. This boxing that I have was from the original Droid. This is actually a Droid 2 Global that was the third or fourth replacement for the original Droid. Not a very good phone in my opinion. The original Droid and the Droid 2 were great. The Global had never had everything but trouble with it, including it doing this and not working. So as soon as I was able and timing was right, oh yeah, if you follow me anywhere on different networks, you know that I am now sporting the new Galaxy Nexus with the 4.65 screen. Awesome. I can't even begin to describe how awesome this is. It did take me some getting used to be able to tote around this size phone, but boy, reading on it or doing anything else on it is just incredible because of that nice, beautiful screen. Now, what I went ahead and brought in here too, in addition to those, was for my son's graduation, they had just come out with the Palm 505. It was color. It was pretty weak screened. The color was weak. The screen was hard to read. Was not the best thing in the world, but this was early on with color and backlight. Yes, there was the Palm 3C for color, but this was based off of the 5X platform, or the 5 platform, even prior to the 5X. And it was so-so, but it worked for him. And then I inherited it back some years ago. Then at some point in time, a few years ago, my wife decided she wanted a phone. So, you betcha, pay as you go, very inexpensive, $20 every 3 months. Just not bad at all, and a small little Motorola phone that worked great. Well, that's the realm. That's what has progressed through my hands over the years. And most of these still work. In fact, is the Centro. When the Droid 2 Global quit working completely and just left me high and dry, I actually reactivated the Palm Centro and used it for about a month until the Galaxy Nexus came out and was made available. Well, there you have it. What devices do you have? What do you still have? What were your favorites? I'd love to know.